You know that feeling when you finally take a break and then this little voice creeps in like, you should be doing something right now. I catch myself there all the time, just sitting down to rest, and suddenly I feel guilty, like I'm being lazy. But this guilt isn't actually about laziness, it's fear. The fear that stepping off the content treadmill means staying broke. So I started questioning it. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that there's only two paths: keep grinding and keep up, or honor your pace and fall behind. But that mindset is broken because what I discovered during my sabbatical completely changed the way I think about rest and money. So in this video, I'll show you why rest isn't the enemy of success. Burnout is actually what's stealing your best ideas and your money. You want to know something I don't hear creators talk about enough? The catch-22 of content creation. Everyone loves to say YouTube is passive income, but there's nothing passive about it when the algorithm expects you to keep showing up or you disappear. A few months ago, I took a break. I needed time to focus on my art, updating my website, and just handling other life stuff. It was necessary, but let me tell you, stepping back comes with this pressure. The algorithm doesn't care if you're recharging. You slow down and it slows you down right back. That so-called passive income suddenly stops feeling passive real quick. Unfortunately, we live in this culture that celebrates burning out. Team no sleep, I'll rest when I'm dead. Hey, like, are we hearing ourselves? I see so many talented artists and creators getting caught in this loop, pushing and pushing because they're scared of becoming irrelevant if they stop. And the system doesn't help. It rewards quantity over quality, consistency over well-being. And the hardest part is that nobody really talks about it. The gurus selling the dream don't mention this part. The freedom you're chasing can start to feel like a trap. So if you've ever felt that tension between needing rest and feeling like you can't afford to take it, drop a comment below because I want to know how many of us are carrying this in silence. There's already a rhythm built into everything: seasons, sleep, creative waves, but we've been taught to override all that. We've been taught to push through it, stay visible, keep posting. I used to think the same way, that slowing down meant falling behind. So when I planned my sabbatical, I was kind of nervous. I've been creating consistently, and the thought of stepping away made me wonder what's going to happen to the algorithm, to my channel, to the momentum, because that's the fear, right? That if you rest, everything stops. The views, the engagement, the income. But here's what actually happened. My best ideas didn't show up when I was forcing them, and neither did my best income. And when I say income, I mean off of YouTube. Even while I was resting, the money didn't stop because I wasn't just making content. I was building a body of work that kept speaking to people even when I wasn't online. That means evergreen content, content that connects. Those were the things that were sustaining me. So I've been sitting with this whole rest versus the algorithm dilemma. And I've been asking myself, how do we care for ourselves as creatives while navigating platforms that treat us like machines? Listen, I'm not about to burn myself out just to feed an algorithm, period. But I also care about this community I've built. I care about my work, and I know I'm not alone in that. Especially if you're both an artist and a content creator, it's like you're holding two worlds. You're trying to sell paintings one day and then you're editing videos the next. It's a lot, and most of us are doing it solo. But here's what I realized: rest doesn't get in the way of creative work. It actually makes space for abundance to come through. And if you sell your art or your ideas or anything that starts from your own imagination, then you already know the thing people respond to isn't how often you show up. It's how real it feels when you do. That's why I've been rethinking the way I create. So here's what I'm experimenting with. 1, creating in waves. I plan on batching content when I feel energized so that I have something to release during slower seasons, because it will give me space without disappearing completely. 2, creating things that last. My guidebooks, my paintings, even older videos, they're still working for me, even when I'm offline. That kind of work supports you without needing your constant attention. 3, reusing what already resonates. I realize that sometimes the content you made a year ago is more relevant today than it was back then. So I've stopped thinking everything had to be new to be considered valuable. Maybe most important, I stopped tying success to how often I post. Because honestly, one strong video, one piece of art that really connects can do more for your creative business than trying to post every day just to keep up. People don't follow you because you're always online. They follow you because something you said or made stuck with them. The way some of these coaches and gurus love calling people lazy for not grinding at 3 a.m., like, who exactly is that message helping? Because it's not helping you. Here's what they're not telling you. Most of the folks preaching constant hustle are not doing it themselves. That person who looks like they're always on probably has a team of 10 behind the scenes, editing, scheduling, posting, managing. Meanwhile, you're being told to do everything yourself and somehow keep up. It's a game. The most successful creators I know aren't burning themselves out. They're protecting their energy. They know when to push and when to pause. And that's exactly how they sustain themselves. That's the part people don't talk about enough. And honestly, I commend Gen Z's rebellion against hustle culture. They are watching this play out and going, yeah, no thanks. They're walking away from toxic jobs. They're questioning the whole always be producing mindset. They're asking better questions about values, sustainability, and what kind of life they're building. They're onto something. Especially when it comes to creative work, this system was never built for us. You don't create your best work when you're running on empty. It starts to feel off, like you're just making art and posting just to keep up. But when you're rested, your brain actually works the way it's supposed to. Your instincts come back online. You notice things, you connect dots. That's when your work resonates and sells. So rest isn't a luxury we earn someday. We need it now, especially those of us who create. I personally receive emails from people guilt-shaming creators for moving too slow in their business. But here's what they won't say. Slowing down is actually how you grow. So don't let the world trick you into feeling guilty for taking a break. I get it, it's hard, especially when rest feels like a risk. But this is the reality we're working with, and we need smarter ways to move through it. So here's something to try this week, something small but powerful. Find one way this week to rest on purpose. Maybe it's a phone-free walk, or a couple of hours where you paint, write, or just daydream with zero pressure to turn it into content. Do whatever helps you come back to yourself. And if you're craving more ease in your creative process, I put together a self-care collection called Create with Ease. It's in the description below. If you're stuck between burnout and feeling like you can't slow down, let's talk and book a session with me. We'll look at how you work, what you actually need, and figure out how you build a rhythm that supports both your art and your well-being. We're saying no to hustle culture. Drop a comment and tell me, what does real rest look like for you? Because someone else might read it and realize, oh, that's what they needed too. And remember, your creativity is something that shows up when you make space for it. So take the break if you need to. Honor your rhythm. Trust that your best work will still be there when you return. Actually, it might even be better. I'll see you in the next video.